Hey guys, Elizabeth Merrick here again. I am going to do a really quick tutorial on how to make isomalt gems using a mold and a piping bag. And I just randomly decided to do this like half an hour ago for a friend. So it's pretty quick. It's for intermediate bakers and decorators. You know, you probably should have used isomalt before, or at least practice before you try this. Please do not burn yourself, please. Be careful, be really, really careful, and you know, lay all your tools out ahead of time. You know, don't rush. And did I mention don't burn yourself? Like, third-degree burns are no joke. Do not burn yourself. But anyways, yeah, just check out this tutorial if you're interested in making sugar gems out of isomalt. It's pretty simple, using just a couple of tools that you probably already have if you're a cake decorator like I am. And hopefully this will help you, you know, make gems in the future without using like those little silicone cups and like weird specialized tools that are supposed to make things easier but don't. So anyways, I hope you like the tutorial, and leave a comment below if you have questions or you have a suggestion. Just, you know, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just talking about a few of the tools that you're going to need. This is not a beginner's tutorial. This is definitely if you have used isomalt before and just need some tips on kind of the next step up. So, you know, if you don't have things like a candy thermometer or molds or a Silpat, you know, not the tutorial for you. This is an intermediate isomalt tutorial. Okay, so here we go. You need a non-stick pot with a lid, 1 cup of isomalt, the whatever kind of jewel mold you want. This one's pretty small, this one that I have. A Silpat or non-stick silicone mat, a couple of gloves or heat-proof gloves of any kind, or you can even use towels, and then 2 parchment triangles that you would these are just regular parchment triangles that you would use for piping out buttercream and stuff, and then a candy thermometer. Okay, so we have our pot here, and we're going to turn it on to high, and go ahead and put your cup of isomalt in there. And I put the lid on it because that just contains the heat and gets it to heat a little bit more evenly. And I don't add any water. This will melt at the melting points, and if you add water then you have to wait for it to boil out and all that stuff, and I just don't bother with that. But if you want to add water, you can. If that's the way you know how to do it, go ahead and do it by all means. So if you're a cake decorator, I'm sure that you've made parchment triangles before, but for this purpose I'm just going to go ahead and show everybody again. You have your 2 triangles, you know, with the pointing up, and just double them up. I guess you could even triple them up if you needed to, and just fold in until, oops, fold in until the points meet up here, and then wrap this around at the back. And the closer you bring these points together, the pointier the end becomes, and we want the end to be nice and pointy. And then just fold this down, and we're not going to trim off the tip yet. We're going to leave that closed, and I'm going to get a glass to set this in to kind of hold it steady while we pour our isomalt into it. Okay, it's been about, I don't know, 2 minutes. Hasn't taken very long, and this is already starting to boil and cook. I don't want to stir it because I don't want to like contaminate this at all. I don't want to. I'm just kind of rocking it back and forth to get the hot sugar on top of the other sugar. I don't want to contaminate this with any sort of like dirt or particles of anything, because that will cause your sugar to crystallize, and that is bad. Okay, so I'm going to turn this heat off. Kind of get this to go back and forth so that it all melts. So I've just been letting this sit until the bubbles have subsided and it's starting to get set up a little bit. This is still pretty watery. As you can see, it's still pretty pourable. So we're going to go ahead and pour this into the parchment paper now. Okay, so I just have any old cup to kind of support the parchment, and I'm just going to place that in the cup like so. And I have our hot isomalt here. It's ready to go. Just please be very, very careful doing this part. Do not overfill your parchment paper. Less is more. We're going to go ahead and just pour that right into the top. Just like that. And then we're going to carefully pinch this closed, fold over again, and fold down. This is very important because we don't want any of this sugar coming out the top and going onto your thumb and causing third-degree burns. So I always recommend using a glove to hold this top part here so that you don't get any burns. Just pipe these into, see if you can see this, into these. And just stop right before you reach the top. Ignore that beeping, that's just my computer telling me to check the email. Oops, too much. Keep your other hand away from this too. No burning. No burning allowed. Shut up, computer. You don't own me. Okay, I'll let those cool. And I was just going to show you real quick a couple of other little tricks. You can pipe small little drops. And when they cool, you can pick them up with tweezers and use them as to make something look wet on like a glass or like a rose petal. Or you could, pipe out little decorative hearts that you can't see. Or you can pipe out initials. It's just isomalt inside a piping bag makes it a lot easier to kind of handle. Put some water inside your pot. See, I've got like dried isomalt in there. Put some water in here and bring it to a boil for like 5 minutes, and that'll get rid of the isomalt so you don't have to scrub it out. So you can see that when you pipe stuff onto the silpat, it's pretty easy to handle and paint if you need to. Normally I would be using gloves, but I don't have any right now, so because when you touch things with your fingertips, it'll leave little fingerprints on the sugar. So you want to handle it with your actual fingers as little as possible. So we're going to take our little jewels out. They should just come out pretty easy. Can you see that? Looks pretty pretty. I have no use for these jewels. I just made them just for you, so I hope you feel special. There you go. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Oops, just put them down in the comment section and I'll answer them for you. Again, I'm Elizabeth Merrick and thanks for watching. 5 minutes and that'll get rid of the ice malt so you don't have to scrub it out.